Well, hello, Bob Dendry here, and welcome back to City Skylines, where we are building the town of Lorikeet Valley. So, last episode we did, we made a very major change to how the city operates. We turned off the we turned on despawning, really, on Traffic Manager, which is not something I very often do. So, that's going to be a bit of a change in terms of how the city operates. We were just having massive traffic backups around the CBD area, so unfortunately it just had to happen. We also put in a really cool little park and ride over here, which I think is getting some really good usage, and also put in a little bit of a suburb here in Homebush, which is currently developing as well. Now, what we're going to be doing this episode is we have a couple of little plans here, I think. So we have the Sheffield sawmill over here, which we started to work on until we had those, realised we had those massive traffic issues, which was quite a number of episodes ago now. So we're planning to continue expanding that, continue developing it towards, the highest level that we can get, so we can unlock some unique factories and stuff like that. Second thing I want to do is we do have this area here, which is possibly ripe for development. If we have a look at our contours there, as you can see, we've got a nice, very flat area here. We're also close to the train line as well, so we can definitely look at putting in a train station here to link up this community sort of across the river. But it will be a challenge, I think, in terms of how we can best integrate this sort of satellite community with the rest of the city. So let's get started working on our forest area a little bit more. So at the moment, what have we got placed here? So we've got our main building, we've got a few different little tree plantations, a couple of sawmills, and some log yards as well to store our raw materials. At this point, we haven't really unlocked too much, to be honest, so we need to keep placing some of these tree plantations down to continue to up our production and get more workers, into the area. I believe we've just cut off power. Just. So what I might do is actually just shift over this connection to maybe hook up over here for the moment. Might be a little bit easier. Also need to turn off tree anarchy so we don't have this happening. Perfect. And we're just going to get a few little roads around the place. I'll try and get one around here. And then we'll be able to get some more tree plantations down. Excellent. If we have a look at how the area is looking at the moment, so we need 150 workers to level up, so we're actually almost there, and we need 292 workers, so I would say in the next few minutes hopefully we'll get leveled up so we can continue to expand this area. Oh, and I just heard that sound. We are up to a 2-star area. Excellent. So that is good. Not making any profit whatsoever. Our next worker level is going to be 350. So we've hit, we've got enough resource units to last us for quite a while. Let's have a look and see what we have actually unlocked now. So we've got workers barracks, so that'll help us to increase the efficiency of our production. We've also unlocked some small tree sapling fields. If we look at the difference, our sapling fields give us a little bit more in terms of our workspaces, and they also do increase the production rate as well. As well as that, we do unlock the biomass pellet plant, which will allow us to produce some paper and some sawdust storage as well. So this is all very cool, and I'm very keen to spend a bit of time working on that now. Okay, and we've got a nice little start to our sawmill, our forest area laid down. I think this should take us up towards possibly 4 stars or so. We'll get pretty close. It's just relying on getting workers actually in and employed here to really level us up. So we'll leave that to grow for a little bit, and we'll move on to a second project for this video. Okay, so we've got this lovely area here that is pretty much ripe for being turned into a residential area. But the question is, how do we do this? The real challenge I think we're going to have here is, how do we connect this up to the rest of the town? Now, obviously, we've got a couple of different sort of highways flowing through the area here. So we may look to potentially have an interchange here. Other thing we could actually do is continue this this motorway a little bit further, but we spent a lot of time coming up with this little spaghetti interchange here, so I'm not too keen to change that straight away. An option we could potentially look at the moment is just an old school T-junction here. Traffic flow on this highway here is not massive right now. It's really mostly sort of just through traffic. I don't think there's a massive amount coming from the rest of the city. So we could look to potentially utilize that, and we can always upgrade it down the line into sort of a motorway standard highway should we want to down the road. So we might just start off with that. I don't know if it'll last particularly long just being like that, but I think it's a good place for us to start in any case. So I'm going to start just by hopping up onto a bridge and heading over our rail line here. That'll be a nice easy start. And obviously is going to be not disruptive to any sort of freight movements coming through. I don't think we actually have any train movements coming through in this direction right now. So we could potentially look to take advantage of that and get maybe a passenger train station down sort of in this vicinity here. Now I'm going to get started on our sort of basic grid that we'll be laying through here. I'm thinking we might go with a bit of a larger grid with some space in the middle. We might potentially look at seeing if we can get some hand-laid assets down as well, I think. So we might try and just grid up against the edge of the map right now. Just get something nice and... well, actually, let's work out what grid we're going to do. I'm thinking maybe a 14 by 14 grid. It's going to be quite an expansive grid. But that will also allow us to place our... I guess our sort of supporting structures in here as well. And some larger parks as well to benefit the community. So I think that's a good idea. And we're just going to go through and just get that all laid down now. A nice amount of grid. Alright, and as you can see, we're just starting to head up a bit of a hill here. So we might terminate the grid right there for the moment. But we can grid a little bit further in this direction as well, should we want to. Next, I think I might actually place our train station down like nice and early here, so we definitely know we have the room for it. So we've got an opportunity here because our train line splits off in 2 directions here, and we could sort of set this up as a bit of a junction, where we have sort of a 4-track station here, and then after that the line split off. So I think that's a really good idea, and yeah, I'm going to run with that, I think. Alright, so I'm just going to place that down there. We'll get it moved using Move It. Nice and close to the... sort of, yeah. Nice and close to our bridge, I think. We'll give it some sort of accessibility to the highway, I guess. We might just pull these back just a little bit. Okay, and there we go. We've got a little sort of junction station here, which I think is going to serve the community quite well. Next, we need to work out how we're going to... Next, we need to work out how we're going to join in this bridge to our community, and I think we might sort of curve it around a little bit more and have it join in on potentially Thompson Street here. We might actually just switch over to a regular road with no parking as well, I think. Yeah, I think that's a nice little entry point to the community. Let's get our grid covered by water pipes as well. Unfortunate thing about our 14x14 grid is we're going to need to have a water pipe running down each road, which is not ideal. But it's going to be something we have to deal with, really, isn't it? And I think we might just run straight across here. We can set up a little easement or something here if we need to make sure that we're not building over that pipeline. Okay, so we're joined up now, pretty much. This actually counts as connected to the road, which I'm surprised by. Pleasantly surprised, mind you. But what I'm thinking we might actually do is see if we can get a little road to run sort of in this direction. That's very ugly, but we'll see if it'll work. Let's see if we can work some node controller magic on it. So if we straighten those out... I'm not convinced. But let's leave it. And just see how we go, really. Alrighty, so... let's get some services down. We're going to need services for everything over here, because we are quite a distance from the rest of the community. So we'll start with some education, I think. Our elementary school... capacity is actually low at the moment, so we might need to look at putting some schools in the rest of the community as well. But we'll just focus right here. This is going to be a new sort of community, so we might go with some newfangled sort of education buildings. Might try and make this a little education campus as well here, I think. And we can probably fit a library in as well. So this will give sort of our students here access to all the, learning resources we need. I might put a node here and put a little pedestrian crossing here, and we can have a park on this side as well. So we might try and make this like a really nice looking, really attractive sort of a education... oh, sewerage. Huh? What? What's happening there? Why don't we have any sewage coverage here? Odd. This is bizarre. What's happening with our sewerage? That's functioning fine. Oh, okay. Yep, because we've got a disconnected sort of grid here. It's not counting it properly. So, for the purposes of the game, I'm just going to run a line there, so that will cover off the sewage requirements of the community as well. Well, hopefully it should anyway. Alright, so we'll get a little park in here, maybe a playground or something like that, if we can, yeah. We might actually get that in. What's that one? That's a large playground. Yeah, perfect. And we'll just run a sort of a path down here, I think. And just all the way across. Wonder if we can even sneak in a small playground here. No, not quite. Actually, you probably don't want a dog park right next to the school, do you? It's probably very distracting for the students. But we will get a... I think we'll turn off all of our snaps, maybe just do our grid. And we'll get that through there. And we'll just run it all the way through there as well. And just sort of a couple of places around as well. We'll use our lovely node controller here, which we will use... Ooh, okay, we've already got a node there, so we might just slightly shift that if we can. What do I need? Yep, and just put that right in the middle. And then we can use node controller to turn that into a crossing. Cool. Awesome. So that's really good, accessible sort of area we have here for the students. They can go over to the library, they can go over to the playground, and they've got everything they need really in this area. Okay, so we've got our little education campus here, so that's a good sort of coverage to start with there. We also need to get a medical center or two in here as well, so we've got one of these new ones as well. By new ones, I mean a custom one, and it probably makes sense to get it nice and close to the train station, you know, just to keep it convenient if you're maybe coming from a different suburb or something like that. We also need a crematorium as well, which we will probably not put right next door to the medical center, actually. And we might get some elder care as well in, and some early childhood care as well. I don't think, at this point, we've actually used this child healthcare centre, which is probably a bit of a failure on our behalf, but we can definitely fit it in, you know, over here with our sort of education precinct, I think. In terms of our fire coverage, we're definitely going to need some over here. So we'll try and spread these buildings out through the neighbourhood as well, so they're not all concentrated in one place, obviously for traffic purposes. Police station will also need one as well. And I think that's pretty much it. We'll just go through and we'll add sort of a few more parks in the area as well, just to make sure we're covering everything off that we need. Ooh, that is so close to fitting there. I wonder if we can just cheat it a little bit. I think that'll fit. You know, if we just use a mover just to cheese it a little tiny bit, I think that's actually a perfect fit there. I'm happy with that. Okay, lovely. I think that's really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some power connected to the area. So we'll use our high voltage transmission lines, and then hopefully we shouldn't need to do much else, I think. That should really be all we need. That's very low hanging. Okay, so let's start to get a little bit of housing and a little bit of commercial places here. What I might do is just have a look through. Okay, cool. Find it's been updated. That's good to know. What I might do is just have a look and see if we could maybe get a few, sort of in this area, get a few townhouses down. And then it'll go to more just sort of regular residential as we get further out. Okay, and to discourage this being used as a bit of a cut through, we might see if we can reduce the speed limit here as well. It's already as low as 10. We might put it down to... I mean, it's already as low as 20. We might put it down to 10, potentially. But we'll see how it goes, I guess. What are you doing? Okay, you're parking. Nice, I think that's alright. So we've got a nice little bit of townhousey stuff here. Might put a little bit of decoration in as well. Cool. We do have traffic flowing into the area. It's not too bad at the moment, but, you know, we've got basically nothing laid down here anyway. So, let's get some zoning down. Okay, so we've got a bit of commercial, but just a whole load of residential in this area. So, yeah, we'll be, I guess, looking with quite a lot of interest to see how this develops and how, especially the traffic in the area develops as well, which may be a challenge. But we will see, I guess, as I keep pressing random things. We've got our train station here. We're going to call that Thornton Junction. And there's some interesting stuff going on here. We might up this to dedicated turning lanes. I think we can do that. Perfect. We might double it up as well. Cool, and we'll see how this area develops. We've already got a few houses going up, which is good. It was also growing from our existing area back out, which is good as well. So we hopefully not going to have any weird, you know, electricity issues happening. And yeah, I'm just really keen to see how it goes. We also will need to join up to our train line as well. So that may be a little bit of a challenge because we do have a bridge here, as we can see. But we will see how it goes. Thornton's looking pretty good. It's slowly developing. It's not like a massive explosion of population or anything like that, but I think it's going quite well. And I think it's now time for us to work out how we will connect up Thornton Junction to our sort of our main line that we have set up, because we're going to need to do that if we're going to be providing adequate and high quality public transport. So I'm thinking one thing we could potentially do. What are you? Oh, yes, Kotsu. Is if we were to sort of reroute this a little bit and have it come sort of more in a sort of this direction, then curve back, we can potentially set up a little Y junction there. So I think we might give that a go and see if it'll work. Yeah, so we're going to, quite sort of dramatically curve this around. Have it run sort of straight for a little bit. Turn back our angle snapping. In fact, just turn everything back on. and then we have it bend back around to join up to our junction station there. I think that's probably the best we're going to do. I think that's a pretty decent... yeah, I'm pretty happy with that, actually. And then we can take this one and have it come in sort of more straight. It probably actually needs to be redone. It's quite ugly, isn't it? Could even have it go under the highway, actually. That probably makes a lot more sense than how it's set up right now. So I'll just do this. We'll do it just with our regular track right now. Obviously, we'll have to change it over so it's not ugly. But I think that might actually work. Yeah, we can have that sort of... And then... like... that as well. I think that should be alright. We can lift our highway back up, actually. So it's... because I think we sunk it a little bit to fit under the bridge. If I'm not mistaken. Let's use our network multi-tool to work out that. Yes, it looks like we did. So we can lift that back up. Means we can lift our tunnel back up as well a little bit. Potentially. Actually, I think it's probably okay. This is a bit of an issue though, isn't it? That's okay, we can fix that with a bit of landscaping, I think. Maybe? No, don't want to. Maybe if we just... Why is... what? It's not working. Why are you not doing anything? Because the strength is 0. Of course. Let's try that again. Yeah, perfect. Perfect. We can do the same over here as well, so that's a little less ugly. Nope, never mind, we can't do that. We can smooth it though. Which is really the same effect, isn't it? Okay, so I might just extend our bridge by one further. I think if we can do that. Let's have a look and see. Yeah. It's a bit ugly, isn't it? Might be able to... no. See if we add an extra node in and then convert it over. It might be a little bit easier. Yeah, that's better. Alrighty, so we've got a connection up here, and we can extend our one of our train lines to join up with it as well. Cannot find path. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Okay, so let's just run with that for a little bit and see how that goes. Hopefully, we'll yeah, be able to enable some public transport for our residents. They can come into the city to find jobs and all that sort of thing. Okay, so looking at our sawmill now, once again, our main sort of thing holding us back here is the workers that we have here. And we have more than enough capacity for workers, there's just not enough people working here. We've got residential areas, Thornton is still not fully developed, so there absolutely is spaces for these workers to live, but potentially they might be having some issues getting to work. So what I might do is get in a couple of sort of options here that will hopefully help them to get up here, get working and hopefully get this upgraded. So first thing I'm going to do is place down a little bit of a parking lot. This will just be a fairly small one, which we'll probably just tack on around this back area here behind our sawdust storage and behind some of our plantations. Alright, so we've got a little parking area now for our sawmill employees. And next we will get a little shuttle bus set up. I think we'll set it up from probably Birdsong Station over here. That seems like a nice central area. They can get the bus either if they live in Valleyside, or they can get the train over here and then hop on the bus after that. That's going to be a nice, simple shuttle. It'll go up, it'll stop at the workers' barracks, and then it'll head all the way back down. Nice and simple. Alright, now I can see that Thornton is all filled up, and we have massive demand for housing again. So, I think we're very close now. What are we? 41,100 almost to unlocking our next square. So I might try and, for this episode, just get that all finished off. So we can start fresh with a new square in the next episode. So where could we potentially sneak in just a little bit more housing? Lafayette Hills seems like it may be an option here. We do have a little tiny bit of space here that we could potentially use sort of quite close to our shoreline here. So if we just break off our road here, and sort of run just quite close to the shoreline, we've got an opportunity to get some quite nice sort of housing here. We can also join up with our ferry wharf, which has been sitting here unused for however many years. So yeah, I think we can sneak in some housing here. Let's see if we can do anything to increase the sort of zonable area we have here though. So I think we can possibly push these back a little bit further. And what does that look like? Still the same. So we can maybe place a civic building here instead. But other than that, we're pretty much just going to be filling this entire area with lovely residential. We're not quite covered with water, so we'll fix that up. Perfect. And what can we get in this space here? Potentially we might be able to get a primary school in. Oh, wow. We need primary schools. We probably need high schools as well. But damn, that is like some severe problems we're having here. Over in Thornton, massive demand as well. So you might get just a sort of a regular elementary school or two just in this area. And what about high schools? How are we going there? High school, okay, as a city, but we still have some major problems in Thornton as well. So I'll plop down another high school there as well. And yeah, I think that should hopefully get us through to the 42,000. And once we get there, we can pretty much finish off this episode, I think. Excellent. So we are now a colossal city. Fantastic. So that takes our population up above 42,000. It also gives us the opportunity to buy a new area. So that will be a key part of the next episode. I think we're probably going to try and focus on a bit of urban sprawlish type stuff, as we're sort of our current squares do have a lot of mountains and stuff like that. So we'll hopefully be focusing on that. But that's going to be it for this episode. So if you've liked it, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you get a ding to your device the next time I post a video. You can find links to all my social media in the description, so please jump on there, like, subscribe, follow, do all that wonderful stuff. You also find a link to my Discord. If you want to join the conversation, hop on there and I'm always happy to have a chat. You can also find a link to my Buy Me a Coffee should you wish to give something a little bit financial to the channel. But until next time, I'm Bob Dendry, this is Cities Skylines. Thanks so much for watching, and goodbye.